it is a gorgeous afternoon for baseball. The temperature has thankfully steadily dropped over the last couple of days. 80 degrees today. There is a nice breeze coming in from right field right now. It is as pleasant a summer afternoon as we've had all year. Here's the Giants lineup. Luis Arraez is back in there in the leadoff spot, and then Bryce Eldridge bats second with Elliot Ramos now batting third today. Rafael Devers fourth, Casey Schmidt fifth, then it's Jung-Hoo Lee and Willie Adames, and rounding out the starting nine, Drew Gilbert and Drew Cavanaugh in the 8 and 9 spots. And that is the lineup that Seth Lugo faces. He makes his 21st start of the season. He opened this homestand with a quality start against the Padres. Now he goes for his second quality start against the Giants, a team that he's fared well against in his career.
Yeah, he sure has. And Seth Lugo was great in his first start against the Padres, getting this Royals team off to on the right foot in the second half. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud will show you a little bit of the arsenal of Seth Lugo. And early in going, has had a little bit of a rougher go in the first 2 innings. I'd like to see him mix in some of those changeups, sliders, sweepers, and curves along with his four-seam fastball, sinker, and cutter. That's what he does so well. He's able to use any pitch in any count. It makes him extremely difficult to prepare for as a hitter.
And there is the new Royals shortstop, Andrew Velasquez. He was selected today from AAA Omaha and getting the start today with Bobby Witt Jr. going on the injured list. And today is Velasquez's first major league game since September 2nd of 2023. Welcome back to the big leagues to Andrew. And we're off with strike one on Luis Arraez. Arraez did not play yesterday. He was 0 for 4 on Monday. That is a rare 0 for one of the league's best hitters. 323 average, third best in baseball. And he has not been held hitless in back-to-back games all season long.
95 contests. Went back and verified it myself. No one's been able to do it. Seth Lugo would like that challenge, and we'll go for it today.
You went through it game by game, box score by box
95 of them. Yet to have consecutive starts or games without a base hit. You see right there, part of the reason why is he's a contact guy. 92% contact rate, always putting the ball in play.
Up and away, 3-2. Now Lugo faced Arraez last year. That's when Arraez was still with the Padres, and in fact did strike out Luis Arraez last year. Hard to do. Arraez puts it in play. Isaac Collins is over into the gap from left. One up, one down for Lugo.
Isaac Collins tracks it down in left field. And take a look at the Royals defense this afternoon. Collins in left field. Lane Thomas will be in center field. Starling Marte, 4 outfield assists. In fact, has 111 since he debuted back in 2012. That's the most in MLB. Josh Rojas at third base made a great play a couple of days ago. Andrew Velasquez at shortstop. Michael Massey at short. Vinny at first base. And once again, Carter Jensen doing the catching duties.
That was a good-looking curveball. Jensen thinks so.
Catcher's challenging the call ball.
And so Malachi Moore tells us that Carter Jensen challenges. We look at ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it was, in fact, a perfect backdoor curveball.
Eldridge has been the beneficiary of a few calls that have gone his way, but Carter Jensen has challenged each of them, and they've been overturned.
And as has been the case in previous starts for Lugo, that specific pitch to a left-handed hitter is really important for him.
Oh, it really is. A backdoor pitch. It looks like a ball. It keeps that left-handed hitter especially off balance. Makes him have to protect, and then it gets some of the hitters expanding. So there again, he tries to go ball to strike with a cutter on the backside, and
could have challenged that one too. Maybe
challenge, yeah. But that's part of what Seth Lugo can do. He can throw the changeup and the sinker off of those locations and get a guy to expand the zone.
Eldridge sends it to Collins in left. A busy start to his birthday today. Happy birthday to Isaac Collins. Turns 29 years old today. We also say a very warm happy birthday to Mike Sweeney, Royals Hall of Famer. Said all he wanted for his birthday today is a sweep. So we'll do our best to give him a proper present.
Mike, we hope you're watching because it's going to be a good one.
We love you, Sweens. Happy birthday. That is 3 batters and 3 first pitch strikes for Seth Lugo today.
Seth Lugo, amongst qualified starters, 60% first pitch strikes, the most of any, the highest percentage of qualified starters.
Hangs up and up for Thomas in center. 3 up, 3 down for Lugo. Carter Jensen leads off the bottom of the first with Lane Thomas and Vinny Pasquantino right after that. This season, he's in the leadoff spot with Lane Thomas and Vinny Pasquantino batting second and third. Salvador Perez, the DH today, at fourth, still 1 home run shy, tying George Brett's franchise home run record. And it's Michael Massey and Isaac Collins, Starling Marte, Josh Rojas, and Andrew Velasquez round out the starting 9 against Landon Roop. He's making his 20th start of the season, 3.98 ERA. He's coming off one of his best starts of this season. It's actually the last time the Giants won a game. Roop opened the second half for the Giants in Seattle, and through 7 scoreless innings, the Giants won 7-0 that day. They have lost 4 straight since.
Well, Landon Roop is a ground ball machine. 51.2% ground ball rate, 7th amongst qualified starters. You see already, good sinker. This is a great curveball, one of his best pitches.
So we've got a couple of curveball artists today.
Yes, we do. Let's take a look. Sinker, curveball, changeup, cutter, and 4-seam. And primarily, you are going to see him work those 3 pitches, the sinker, curve, and change. You'll see the fastball. It'll run up there in the mid-90s. But above all, he's going to depend on movement. See that thing shoot across the zone, 94 miles per hour.
See that ground ball rate and the hard hit rate. Those 2 things do go hand in hand oftentimes. Jensen gets it in the air right at Ramos in left.
Well, Roop induced 13 ground balls last outing against the Mariners, so the infield will be busy. You have Casey Schmidt at third base, Willie Adames at short, Luis Arraez at second base, Rafi Devers at first base. In the outfield, Jung-Hoo Lee in right field, Drew Gilbert in center, Elliot Ramos in left field, and our third catcher in 3 days, Drew Kavanaugh.
And the Giants are getting a look at every backstop. There's Daniel Susac on Monday, Jesus Rodriguez yesterday, and now Kavanaugh today. This is his 16th career game. Big league debut at the tail end of June.
Well, each of the catchers has had a base hit in the first 2 games. So
Thomas clips it 1-1.
Despite sharing time, seems like they're staying pretty sharp when it comes to the at-bats.
Lane Thomas was 0 for 4 yesterday, a couple of strikeouts. It remains, though, a very impressive month of July. And as Bridget was telling us on Monday, he's got a good relationship with Giants manager Tony Vitello, going back to Vitello's days as the Tennessee head coach. Thomas grew up in Knoxville, went to Bearden High School. It's about 20 minutes down the road from the UT campus, and so he's worked out at the Tennessee facilities during off seasons and gotten to know Tony Vitello. Thomas was committed to play at Tennessee himself coming out of high school and got drafted by the Blue Jays.
Well, there you see that curveball. It's got a +6 run value, 96th percentile, and it's a good pitch. Great spin rate on the curveball, over 3,000 RPMs, revolutions per minute. And it'll see a lot of guys getting locked up on it. Threw it low and away early in the account. This one started on the inside part of the dish and drops in there for strike 3 to Lane Thomas.
And between Lugo's curve and Roop's curve, there's going to be some heads spinning today.
Yeah,
those are 2 of the highest spin rate curves in the game right now.
Yeah, Roop, you combine that sinker with the curveball. You got 2 pitches going 2 totally opposite directions.
Arraez makes the running play. It's a 1-2-3 first for Roop, and we're scoreless through 1 at the
game show. He said if it's a day that ends in Y, it probably means we have an injury update, and that we do today. Jack Caglione, after exiting last night's game, is not in the lineup today for the Royals after exiting with right shoulder soreness after a diving attempt he made last night. Talking with Q today, he told me Jack is still sore. It's essentially like he jammed his shoulder joint, similar to what he did in Minnesota when he ran into the wall chasing a foul ball. So they're just giving him some time to let it loosen back up. They don't feel like there is any further concern other than that. They don't believe it's a serious injury, so they just need some time for it to calm down. So that, amongst all the other injury news, guys, I would say is a positive for not only the Royals and Jack Caglione.
Yeah, the Royals, thanks Bridget, will take any semblance of good news, and I think knowing that Jack Caglione should be back in the lineup soon is good enough news today amongst all the other injury reports.
Oh boy, as it felt like just a waterfall of bad news. And pretty much every regular position player has spent some time in the IL this year, has been banged up one way or another. The pitching staff has been decimated by injuries over the course of the year. And it has been one thing after another this year. Devers turns for second. Quick play in from Thomas, but it's a leadoff double for Rafael Devers.
Looks like Rafi Devers caught himself a cutter on the outer half, trying to go backdoor. This one leaks a little bit more than Seth Lugo would like it to end up. And for Rafi Devers, that's double number 26. Came into the day tied for second most in Major League Baseball. So one of the coaches was saying Rafi Devers has sneaky speed. Thus maybe explaining the 26 doubles. Also can swing the bat.
Yeah, that helps too. Strike one on Casey Schmidt. He was 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. "19 pitches for Lugo, 8 different types already." That one squirts by Jensen, and Devers takes third. That was the sweeper.
Yeah, mixing it up early, which I think is a good idea. Tough break here. Carter Jensen just got tied up a little bit. Didn't really move the feet or the body to get in front of it. Wasn't able to glove it. Now Giants have a perfect scoring opportunity with man on third and nobody out.
Royals bring the infield in. Back to the slider. He gets Schmidt.
A perfect pitch. Threw him the sweeper. Pitch before this one a little bit tighter. It's a slider, so the action's not as east to west, but a little bit more down with some depth. Gets Casey Schmidt thinking opposite field. Whenever a hitter's thinking that direction, you can expand the zone that way, and sometimes they'll fish and expand.
Lee slices one to the left field corner. Collins is over. It's foul. Looked like trouble off the bat. Collins has already made one incredible diving catch in that direction this homestand.
I'll say he made that diving catch. Looked like he might have hurt himself, but no, he came up and played through it. Pretty incredible effort he's been given in left field, and he was saying he just seems to get more and more comfortable and looks really, really good in left field.
The diving grab was on Sunday against the Padres. 0-1 on Jung-Hoo Lee.
I like that spot for Lugo. Throws the cutter in. If he can somehow find a way to bend that sinker, starting that inside, let it run back, he might be able to freeze Lee or get in on the hands.
Right to Velasquez, and now Devers is doubled off. Inning over. What a play. The ball will find you. Velasquez is back in the big leagues and helps out Lugo. Salvador Perez due up first. A chance at history to begin the bottom of the second inning. 316 career home runs for Salvador Perez, one shy of tying George Brett. And Salvi takes a curveball for strike one. Salvi was 0 for 3 yesterday. He was also hit by a pitch on his left wrist. Nice play from Vinny Pasquantino over there in the dugout. Caught it off the netting. 0-2.
Yeah, when you saw that pitch off the wrist last night, you were definitely concerned. It looked like it got him pretty flush. Nice to see him back in the lineup.
Well, if the pattern holds, should be a home run today. Homered on Saturday. 2 days later, homered on Monday. 2 days later, well, that's today.
If only it were that easy, Jim. He'd be averaging 81 home runs per year in his career.
It would have been far past 317 by now. One and two on Salvador Perez. Breaks his bat and rolls it up the middle. Arise goes to the left to second, makes a longer throw, and Salvi's out, one away.
Let's go back and check out how the bottom of the first ended, or sorry, the top of the second. Seth Lugo, backdoor breaking pitch to Jung-Hoo Lee, and Velasquez right there ready for it. Nothing you can do if you're Rafael Devers. Line drive up the middle, tremendous defensive play, and Lugo escapes a man on third, nobody out, top of two.
So it was not a ground ball double play, but still a double play. The Royals' 92nd double play of the year, tied for the most in baseball.
Trying to chase down the San Francisco Giants, who do have the most double plays turned, and a big part of that is the man on the mound today, Landon Roop.
Well, we've seen it the last few days now. All these sinkers and ground ball rates. There's Trevor McDonald on Monday, and Tyler Mahle yesterday, Roop today. That's not to mention Logan Webb, who's one of the best ground ball artists in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not pitching in this series.
When I saw Roop pitching against Seattle, I thought to myself, this is kind of a Logan Webb-esque type pitcher.
Massey's down in the high heat. 2 Ks now for Roop. He's gone 5 up, 5 down.
Well, here's the thing about Roop. When he gets you thinking down, down, down with the breaking pitch and the sinker, he'll run an occasional four-seam fastball up in the zone. It'll be very difficult for a hitter to adjust when your eyesight's down, trying to make sure you're finding the strike zone, identifying the pitches, and he can run one up top.
This is the first time that many Royals are facing Roop, including Collins. But Roop has pitched against the Royals once before, and at this ballpark once before. It was the tail end of the 2024 season. And Roop that day went 5 scoreless and in fact earned his first big league win in that game.
You talked about his last start, Jake. The scoreless outing up in Seattle, but the one before that was against Toronto. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, and just 1 earned run. So over his last 2 starts, you saw the tough stretch he had in the previous 11, but his last 2 starts, just 1 run allowed in 15 innings.
Yeah, the Giants have won each of the last 2 times Roop's pitched, but you saw they had lost 11 straight games that Roop had taken the bump.
So see the way he throws today, it's almost unbelievable to think he could have that kind of stretch.
There's a chopper to Schmidt, inning over. The Royals are down in order once again. Kansas City Royals Foundation and their mission. Play at the K or online at royals.com/5050. Both pitchers have faced the minimum so far today. Lugo allowed a leadoff double in the second, but got a timely double play behind him to end the threat. And after delivering his first pitch ball today, it's now 1-1 on Willy Adames.
Yeah, 25 pitches, 18 strikes for Lugo out of the gates. You start throwing a lot of strikes, you'll get swings like that on pitches that go out of the strike zone. Big 12-6 curveball. As Willy Adames set up for just about any pitch you want to throw here.
Bounce to third, and Rojas makes the backhand play. 1 up, 1 down. Well, among the flurry of roster moves today, the Royals made a trade. They acquired Nate Pearson, a right-hander from the Astros. Pearson had recently been designated for assignment, traded away a minor league righty in Max Martin. recent draft pick. Pearson is 29 years old. He's a first-round pick back in 2017. He is known for a power fastball. Early on in his career, he was consistently triple digits. This year, 20 innings with the Astros, and an ERA just over 3.5.
Yeah, it could be a nice addition for the Royals.
Catcher is challenging to call a ball.
Jensen's already overturned one pitch today. We look at ABS, powered by T-Mobile.
Call
that's
confirmed.
close.
Kansas City has one challenge remaining.
Boy, that is as close as it gets.
I feel like the only thing it's missing is the box turning pink.
Oh, man.
It's touching the edge, but yeah.
Less than 1/10 of an inch out of the ABS zone. It's a tough break for Jensen. It's a good challenge. So 2-1 on Drew Gilbert. He was 1 for 4. Had an RBI single yesterday. Gilbert played for Tony Vitello at the University of Tennessee. He was a first-round pick by the Astros in 2022. Up the middle, and the Gold Glover puts a glove on it. 2 outs.
Some of the toughest plays for a pitcher are the ones that are not hit hard, surprisingly, because they become changeups back to you. You often think it's coming right at you. You might react. That ball got in on the hands of Gilbert. And Seth Lugo does an exceptional job of keeping the glove down, staying on balance. I know I would have been ducking out of the way, jumping for the ground, like, don't hit me. And it would have trickled right by at about 75 miles per hour, and you kick yourself. But tell you what, Seth Lugo is as good as they come.
And we saw a couple days ago all the pitchers were out at shortstop and second base taking grounders. And Lugo is at shortstop, and he looked pretty fluid. He was a shortstop once upon a time. And Rojas from the shortstop area makes the play. Giants are down in order. Extra music theory and composition. His proudest achievement is seeing his students take the skills and values into the world as professionals, educators, and engaged members of their communities.
Outstanding, Dr. Bishop. What a fulfilling role he has played in countless lives of youth, all through music. No better place to make an impact, right? Through music. Everyone appreciates and enjoys music in their lives.
Maybe Starling Marte can make some percussion with his bat leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Royals are still looking for their first hit against Landon Roop. Roop's gone 6 up, 6 down to start the game. A couple of strikeouts, 3 groundouts, and a flyout.
Well, he's done it from behind in the count primarily. Opposite of Seth Lugo, he's only thrown 2 of his first 7 at-bats, a first pitch strike. That gives you an idea of just how good the curveball is, that sharp spin. Breaking away from Marte.
Marte tries to bunt, but it's foul. 1-2.
I like the creativity right there, right? A veteran guy, no one's expecting bunt. Saw that nasty curveball. Let's get something down on the ground.
And Starling will remind you he can still move. It's your active leader in triples and steals.
He keeps in great shape. You don't have to look at him too long to realize that. So even as he gets up there in age, still moves quickly.
Was a little bit tight. Marte's also the active leader in hit by pitches, for what it's worth. And he ropes it down the line, foul. Marte was 1 for 3 yesterday and was hit by a pitch. 170th hit by pitch of his career.
pincushion.
And yesterday was his first game played, first start since July 9th in New York. Been 12 days since he'd played, All-Star break included, and now in their back-to-back days. We got a start yesterday against Tyler Mahle, a pitcher that he's got good career numbers against. In there today, in some part due to Jack Caglianone's absence from the lineup. He exited yesterday's game with right shoulder soreness and is not in the lineup today.
Well, he's done a really nice job of staying fresh. I think the Royals certainly appreciate that when they've inserted him, he's been ready to go.
And he is proving pesky. He's fouled off 4 straight pitches.
Yeah, 9 pitch at bat already, and as a starter, he's batting .310. So the Royals have given him a chance, even if it's been sporadic, his playing time. Every time you put him in there, you can count on him trying to get a hit, maybe 2.
And he clips it into Cavanaugh's mitt, strike 3. So Marte battled, comes up empty, and now a message from Rally House.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Rojas loses his helmet on strike 1. He had the leadoff single in the 9th inning on Monday, then wound up scoring the game-winning run. That was all after a run-saving play at third base in the 8th. It was a big part of Monday's 1-run win. That's right to Devers at first, and he takes care of it, 2 gone. And now Andrew Velasquez, his first plate appearance as a Royal. We go down to the field and say hi to Bridget.
Well, hey, Jake, we're getting a look at our Xfinity player profile for the newest Royal, Andrew Velasquez. And, you know, it was interesting. He and Q actually crossed paths in Tampa years ago, and they've kept in touch over the years, whether it was crossing paths in the big leagues or just checking in over the years. So for Q, getting to give Andrew a hug and welcome him back to the clubhouse was great, he said. And there's a lot of respect for Andrew and just what he's been able to do in the grind in his career as he beats this one out. Look at Velasquez go, and you know, he spent a lot of time grinding to get to this point. Of course, Jake, you said earlier, this is his first big league game since 2023. And Q told me he remembers watching him as a young kid when he debuted. And now years later, here he is still going and fast as ever, as you saw there. He said he's somebody that has done some really cool things in the game, and he just loves to play. He's a gamer. And Andrew in particular, though, he said is excited that his 4-year-old daughter will get to watch her dad in the bigs and actually remember it this time. And I'm sure she liked that right there.
Awesome stuff, and no doubt that is something to like. Andrew Velasquez wastes no time. A bunt hit. That is his first big league hit since August of 2023.
Well, he caught the defense off guard right there. A good bunt, but I don't think they were ready for that. 2 outs. Landon Roop enjoying a perfect game to that point, albeit 2 2/3 innings of perfection, but nonetheless was mowing him down. And
well, Velasquez has already played a big role in this game. Snared the liner to start the double play that ended the second. Now he's got the Royals' first hit.
There's an element to what Bridget reported, that a player being able to play in front of their children is one of the greatest joys for a major leaguer and a father. And very few get to enjoy that, really, truly. I mean, most players, begin a family somewhere, maybe in their mid to late 20s, and if you can play past your mid-30s, you're doing something really good. So a chance for him to play in front of his daughter, shy of 5 years old, is really special.
Jensen's down on strikes. That ends the inning. Velasquez has his first hit as a Royal. And this was last year in San Diego. Luis Arraez had not struck out in 112 consecutive plate appearances until that pitch.
Oh, the expression is priceless. Right there's, aha, you got me. Wow. You threw a 2-seamer that ran a good 20 inches off the plate. I love that expression.
And it wasn't just that Lugo struck him out, but to strike him out with a pitch that far outside the zone against a guy that doesn't chase and only ever makes contact, Rise only struck out 21 total times last year.
Incredible.
There's no Joe Sewell, who famously only struck out 3 times in a season, a couple of times in his career, but Luis Rise is currently the hardest to strike out in baseball.
Well, in this day and age, I'll take 21 strikeouts against any historical 3 strikeout season. You're going to face guys that throw consistently 100 miles per hour with devastating secondary pitches.
Rise has struck out only 18 times this year.
See right there, just incredible bat to ball skills. That ball cutting in on the hands and still finds a way. Flick it down the left field line. Average down to 322. 330 at the break. 4 times an all-star. Rise is one of the good guys in the game, truly. I remember the first time I met him during batting practice. The Royals were down in Miami a few years back, and what a pleasant person to meet. Really engaging. Always smiling.
Up the middle, right off the top of the rubber, and Velasquez makes a nice play behind the back.
Well, with Luis Rise, you're trying to get him off balance. Can you get him to take a little bit of a softer swing, off balance swing? And that's exactly what Seth Lugo was able to do. You check out the sequence here, how he pitched him. Goes first pitch, changeup up in the zone. Then he goes backdoor on that curveball sweeper. In on the hands. Tries to run it off the plate away, and here it is. Again, backdoor breaking ball, gets a Rise expanding off the plate. Soft ground ball. You can see a lot of in and out from Lugo. That's something he's doing extremely well so far today. He's outside with pitches moving away, comes back hard inside, but then he'll throw a pitch off the plate that bends back towards the strike zone. So left-handed hitters having a tough time determining if it's going to go away from them or come back towards them.
On contact for Eldridge, but Thomas has room in front of the track. 2 gone.
And above all, 9 of 11 first pitch strikes. You can get ahead of guys. It allows you to do what I was just talking about, which is expand the zone.
That's interesting because Lugo has been burned on the first pitch a good amount this year, just as much as anybody else. And the Giants as a team are one of the more aggressive teams and have had among the most success against the first pitch this year.
Super interesting how that works out, because he's thrown a ton of pitches, 10 of 12 now in the strike zone, and for the most part the Giants have been very patient. They haven't attacked that first pitch.
Lugo has allowed a 384 average on the first pitch. The Giants have a 322 average as a team on the first pitch. That is a nasty sweeper for strike 3. Seth Lugo has faced the minimum through 4 innings.
And 2 of the highest spin rates on a breaking pitch in all of Major League Baseball. And you get a feel for right here the movement on these pitches, the depth, and the spin. Both pitchers already today have relied heavily on the curveball. Landon Roop has thrown 15 of his 41 pitches have been curveballs. Take a look at the comparisons for the season. The usage, Roop relies on it a lot more than Seth Lugo, who has 9 pitches in all, but both have an opponent's batting average under 200 for Roop, just above 200 for Seth Lugo. And those spin rates, that's what the difficult thing is for a hitter to see. If they can't pick up the spin because it's spinning so quickly, tough to commit and understand what you're swinging at in time.
And there is Roop's curve. You think he, like Seth, learned how to throw his curveball by spinning a tennis ball can? Or a Pringle can?
Talking to Lugo about that, that was what he was taught. Understand the spin rotation and the angle of it. A pitcher ideally wants to throw a pitch that's spinning perfectly topspin. They call it 12-6. Most curveballs generally have more of a 1-7 or a 2-8, as we refer to a clock. That type of rotation. But when you spin something that's longer, a little bit longer than a baseball, you get an idea of how is it spinning, and that's how Seth Lugo learned to shape his curveball.
And his dad was the one who gave him the tennis ball can as his coach growing up, and they used to go to Centenary College, which is near where Seth grew up in Bossier, Louisiana, ultimately where he went to school. And there would be some camps there, some clinics there when he was a kid, and that's where he first learned that curveball, flipping in that tennis ball can.
We talked a lot about the sinker from Roop and the curveball, but the changeup has been outstanding today. A neutralizer. You see the depth on the pitch. It takes off about 7 to 8 miles per hour, but you can't detect that at all from his mechanics. He's got a lot of outs on the changeup already, and that's been the third pitch that's made him so effective.
And he's now got 5 Ks today through 3 1/3.
His changeup really looks just like his sinker. If you didn't know the velocity, you might think they're the exact same pitch. Where they run and sink, dying away from a left-handed hitter.
Still only 1 hit for the Royals, and that was Andrew Velasquez's bunt single with 2 outs in the 3rd. Lofted to left center field. Gilbert races in, and he's got it for the 2nd out. 2 up, 2 down, and now another chance for Salvador Perez.
Yeah, here's the captain. He wants to find a chance to tie the record here in front of the home crowd. It's been a great homestand, great crowds all weekend, and this series against the Giants.
0-1. George Brett has held the franchise record in homers all to himself for over 40 years. He took up the mantle from Amos Otis when he passed him in 1986. Mike Fiore hit the very first home run in Royals history in April of 1969. So he was the franchise leader for all of 1 week before Lou Piniella passed him. Chopped to short. And Adames takes care of it. Inning over. The Royals are down in order again against Roop, who's through 4 scoreless. Seth Lugo has faced the minimum through 4 innings today. Rafael Devers is the only one to reach base for the Giants. He led off the 2nd with a double, then got doubled off 3rd on a double play to end that threat. This is the 2nd time in Seth Lugo's career that he's faced the minimum through 4 innings. The only other time that's happened was 2 years and 1 day ago against the Chicago White Sox when Lugo delivered his first complete game.
Wow, well, he has been in control this afternoon. Fun to watch. He's throwing strikes and can pinpoint command as he's done all day so far. Makes it look very easy.
And so he continues his success against the Giants. 2.10 ERA in 17 games, 6 of them starts. The first start of his major league career came against the Giants. It was 10 years ago in San Francisco, August of 2016.
We highlighted in the series opener the success that Michael Wacha has had against the Giants, and Seth Lugo is just about a half a step behind him.
Catcher is challenging to call a ball.
This is Jensen's 3rd challenge today. Got the first one right, barely missed on the 2nd. And ABS, powered by T-Mobile, says
Calls confirmed. Kansas City is out of challenge.
that one was not close.
Yeah, 1-0. 5th inning. I'm not sure it was situationally a great challenge. Obviously, it was above the zone as well. But I remember that start not too long ago, maybe a month or 2 ago, that a lot of borderline pitches, and you can see the frustration from Seth Lugo and not having this catcher challenge. So there might be an element of that in the back of the mind of Carter Jensen.
Well, we do know that Seth appreciates when whoever is catching him is aggressive with those challenges. And he's trying to nip those corners and paint those edges.
Yeah, it makes it tough on a catcher. I never hit the corners too often, so I never would have had too much of a problem with a catcher challenge. And usually if it was a strike, they hit it pretty hard and we can move on.
Oh, stop it
but
now.
Seth Lugo is.
Come on.
I mean, he just, everything he throws, it's just a spray chart. Stuff rises, it sinks, it runs, it cuts.
He has thrown all 9 of his official pitches at least once today.
That's what pitching should be. This is just a lost art.
Oh, how about the slow curve to get Schmidt?
I mean, you look at that pitch right there. Casey Schmidt has no chance whatsoever. Seen hard pitches in on the hands going away. Just subtracts 28 miles per hour, but you don't notice it at all in the arm speed. When your eyes are picking up the delivery, you'll notice that arm slows down, and in the case of Seth Lugo, it never does. He's somehow able to subtract by, he has to try to subtract the velocity on a curveball by extending less, meaning trying to almost short arm it, and so pulling it straight down instead of kind of throwing it towards home plate, and that would pull some of the velocity off. Greg Hull and I would practice it all the time in shagging in the outfield, and he called it the old slow boy. I got away with a few of them. A few of them I did not. Miguel Cabrera, I remember him hitting a 62-mile-an-hour curveball for a homer.
He did that to quite a few. There's the regular curveball. Pasquantino ends the inning from the field after the game. Purchase tickets at royals.com/promotions. Still looking for our game's first run. Both starters have been outstanding so far today. Each team only has one hit. For the Royals, it was a bunt single.
Well, Roop has been just as good as Seth Lugo, his counterpart. Both of these guys have done it a little bit different way. Roop has not thrown as many first pitch strikes, but the sinker, changeup, and the devastating curveball have made all the difference.
And he ties up Massey with the heater. Strike three. That is 6 Ks now for Landon Roop.
Yeah, once again goes with the four-seam fastball upstairs after a couple of pitches down. And for these hitters, they've been conditioned to look down for the sinking fastball and the curveball. So anytime he elevates today, he's got a good chance to get that kind of result.
Here's ball one on Isaac Collins. Roop was a 12th round pick by the Giants back in 2021. They drafted him out of UNC Wilmington. He went to school. He was a Seahawk not too far from where he grew up in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. It's off the end of the bat. Arise makes a backhand play and a nice throw.
Today's Whataburger What a Play is Luis Arise. We talked about his improved defense this year under the tutelage of Ron Washington. Goes to the backhand and a quick turn throw. Back to first base, right on target. Nice play by Arise as momentum takes him all the way into left center field almost. Roop appreciates that.
And there is the legend, Ron Washington.
I'll tell you what, for the 3 hours leading up to a major league ball game, no one works harder than Ron Washington on the coaching staff. Saw him work through the entire infield one by one, working on the hands, all the drills he's taught. And at this point, I pretty much see every major league team doing drills that Ron Washington has either coached them as players or as part of their coaching staffs. I'd say all 30 teams do Ron Washington drills prior to a game. Pretty impressive, his impact on infielders throughout the entire league.
And great to see him in a dugout. Angels manager for a time, had some health issues and stepped away for a bit. Former Rangers manager as well, longtime coach with the Braves too. Another 1-2-3 inning for Roop. We're through 5 scoreless. Roop is through 5 scoreless on 62 pitches. Lugo is through 5 scoreless on 56 pitches. And he starts Willy Adames with a fastball inside for ball one.
41 of those for strikes from Seth Lugo. 73% of the time throwing a strike today.
This is Adames' second year with the Giants as part of a 7-year deal. Began his career with the Tampa Bay Rays, debuted in 2018. And Q was on the coaching staff with the Rays at that time. There are a lot of reunions happening, Q and Willy Adames, but also Andrew Velasquez, who also debuted with the Rays that year in 2018. So he and Adames were teammates. And of course, Q was there, and Paul Huber was in the Rays organization too. And Velasquez was also saying this morning that it was good to see Marcus Thames again, the Royals hitting coach, who was his hitting coach with the Yankees in New York and also with the Angels in Anaheim. Lugo's issued his first walk. He had retired 11 straight entering this inning. Drew Gilbert wants the signs again from his third base coach Gary Pettis. The way this game is going, a bunt would be not surprising. Rojas is in on the grass at third. And there is the bunt, but it's not a good one. 0-1.
Yeah, breaking ball up top right there. Saw Gilbert almost trying to pull it back, but decided to try to carry out the bunt play. As a pitcher, you're really just trying to throw a strike and let them get the ball down on the ground, take your out when you can get it. Maybe you try to throw something the second time out of the zone and get them to see if they can chase and pop the bunt up. But for the most part, let's see right here.
Now Gilbert's hit by the pitch, but did he swing? Lance Barrett says no swing. Gilbert apparently pulled back the bat in time. That winds up as a tough break for the Royals. You can tell that Q thinks that Gilbert was bunting and missing.
Yeah, take a look at it here. Well, you do see he brought it back.
He did bring it back.
Maybe the frustration is that he doesn't try to get out of the way, but if you're in the position to bunt, you really can't get out of the way of a pitch at that point. Your nose is down on that baseball. You're facing the pitcher in a different angle than you normally do when you're hitting, and so that ball runs in on you. There's nowhere to go.
And now Kavanaugh bunts. Rojas vacates third and makes the play. Successful sacrifice. And so 2 free passes, a walk, a hit batter, and a sac bunt puts 2 in scoring position for Luis Arraez.
Well, it's a nice job by Kavanaugh to get this ball down. You want to go to third base, make the third baseman come and field it. Does so perfectly, makes a nice throw. And Giants again with runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs.
Forces the Royals to bring the infield in. Got a line drive double play in this spot earlier in the game.
And for the Giants, the perfect hitter at the plate. They're trying to get a ball in play, trying to score the run from third. You can count on Luis Arraez to do that for you. It's a matter of the Royals defense being positioned well enough to hopefully snare if they hit a ground ball in the infield.
Arraez is a .333 hitter with runners in scoring position this year. He's a good hitter in just about every situation. He is the active leader in batting average in baseball, career .318 mark.
It's been even better in his last 15 at-bats, 6 for his last 15 with runners in scoring position.
And he gets one in the air to center field. Deep enough for Adames to tag and score. And that brings in the game's first run. Sac fly for Luis Arraez. Now, do the Royals want a challenge?
Yeah,
Did Adames leave early?
Adames leave early. Did Gilbert come off the base when he slid through third? Well, you see right here, Lugo trying to get in on Luis Arraez, see if he can't get a little chopper, one-hopper to the right side of the infield. Arraez does a nice job getting underneath that ball. Good throw by Lane Thomas, and this might have been what they were checking. Rojas fielded that ball behind third base, and Gilbert came in full head of steam. Slid all the way through the bag, but kept his feet on.
A run-saving pick there from Jensen.
Oh, backhand play. Just not trying to catch it as a catcher. You're just trying to knock that down. Not enough time to move your body in front of it.
So a frustrating series of events for Lugo in this inning. A leadoff walk, then a hit batter who was trying to bunt, then a sacrifice bunt, then a sacrifice fly. And the Giants have a run without the benefit of a hit in this inning. Full count on Eldridge.
Eldridge 1 for 9 in the series. 5 strikeouts. Well, those pitchers have done a nice job of mixing it up, keeping them off balance.
It was was an off-balance swing there. Just got a little piece of the curveball. And Lugo gets him with a cutter. So Lugo ends the inning with a K, but the Giants.
Rojas leads things off for the Royals. We'll see if he can get something done here and get the Royals back in this one, down 1 here in the 6th. Well, ever since Josh Rojas has stepped into this Royals clubhouse, he has truly fit in seamlessly, and he's got this magnetic personality about him that has really vibed with all of the guys. And I think, you know, Jake and Jeremy, we have all felt it at some point, that personality of his and our interactions with him. And Q put it best yesterday. He said he's got a good goofiness to him, you know, like it keeps it light in here. He's one of those guys that is loud enough to pick other guys up, but it's not an obnoxious thing, you know, he just has good feel. But when we talked with Q yesterday, he said the biggest thing that stood out to him is just how prepared Josh always is. He said he works exceptionally hard, even on the days where he's not playing. He knows what's going on in the game. He said he understands game situations really well, and he just understands what he needs to do, and I think that is what has shown the most to Q.
Oh, thanks, Bridget. Those are the kind of guys you want to pick up, especially mid-season. Guys that can bring a little bit of energy to the club as well as a little bit of humor, relax the players. So not only has Josh Rojas been fantastic at the dish and in the field, but he's been great in the clubhouse as well.
He had a terrific spring training and was just waiting for his opportunity in Omaha. He's seized it. He's been playing 2 games in 2 states on the same day when he made his Royals debut at the beginning of June. Two. And now the count's full on Rojas, 3-2. Just turned 32 at the tail end of June. Originally a 26th round pick by the Astros in 2017 out of the University of Hawaii.
I didn't realize he went to Hawaii.
It's not a bad spot to play some college ball.
I've seen a few
or
games
just
over
be
there.
in general.
Indeed.
Line through the right side. A solid single for Josh Rojas. The Royals have their 2nd hit of the day and the first that's left the infield.
Yeah, Landon Roop started both of his at-bats with changeups, so trying to take the aggressiveness and use it against Josh Rojas, but late in the count stays back on a changeup. Able to drive it to right field. Nice at-bat.
7 pitches, fouled off 3 of them. And with runs at a premium, Rojas is the potential tying run. Velasquez has a bunt hit today. Does he get Rojas to second? He's trying to drag bunt.
Why not? I love it. I love a guy that likes to find a way to get on base.
A little bit to our left in the radio booth, Hall of Famer Denny Matthews is sharing what Rod Carew always said, that if you're going to drag bunt, you have to bunt, then run. Can't run before you bunt.
Well, you can. You're just not going to get the ball down on the ground.
Semantics.
You'll be walking back to home plate, pick that bat back up.
Right back to the pitcher. Roop goes to second. Adames covers. He was on the bag this time, and Rojas is out.
No, nothing Josh Rojas can do about that. Get that sac bunt, get that good secondary lead. Hustle to second base, but unfortunately the bunt was just a little bit too hard. Right back at Roop, who makes a nice play, much like Seth Lugo, a very good fielding pitcher. You see how hard it was hit back. If it goes towards third base or first base at all, the play will be at first base, but it's right back to the pitcher. It gives them a chance to spin and turn and get the lead runner.
Well, baseball has a funny way of repeating itself. You know, it was just a couple of nights ago that Josh Rojas went over to second base on a bunt, and Adames did not cover second base on a play over there. And now 2 days later, he does.
Still a perplexing play that Adames wasn't on the bag when there was a bunt laid down. Force at second and received the throw and didn't get the out.
And that set the stage for Monday's walk-off. It's our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Leslie Johnson. from Weatherby Lake, Missouri. If a Royals player hits a homer this inning, Leslie wins $400. If it's a grand slam, Leslie will win $25,000. That one spun foul, 1-2. Pardon, 1-1 on Jensen.
Well, Leslie's got the right part of the lineup up to bat. Carter Jensen second on the team in home runs with 14.
Hit one just yesterday.
Lane Thomas behind him, who's been fantastic. In July, 12 extra base hits, tied for the most in major leagues.
8 doubles and 4 homers.
Yes, sir.
How about that? MJ Melendez had 18 homers in 2022. That's back when MJ was still catching. Carter's chasing him down.
He's having an incredible rookie season. We talked about it yesterday. He's doing it at the top of the lineup. He's doing it as a catcher. He's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulder, and Carter Jensen has handled it as well as any rookie that we've seen here recently with the Royals.
Off the end of the bat, and Ramos jogs in. 2 outs. So now Lane Thomas, see if he can get Andrew Velasquez to boot, scoot, and boogie around and cross the plate.
Hear the music here in the stadium.
It's a great walk-up song.
If I was more of a country fan, I'd give you the artist, but I have no idea, Jake.
Brooks and Dunn. Hat tip to Crown Vision for that one.
I've been to Graham and Dunn down in the plaza, but
it's a nice spot.
Sure is,
yeah.
But never a Brooks and Dunn concert. Graham and Dunn's my wife's favorite restaurant in Kansas City.
Good taste.
Not sure which taste you're referring to, but yes, it does have good taste.
Hers and the food. And Velasquez did have 13 steals the last time he was in the big leagues. That was a few years ago with the Angels. He's already beaten out a bunt hit, so he's showed off the wheels.
I see Kavanaugh, similar to Carter Jensen, gets a breaking ball outside of his body, so no chance to block it. Got to rely on the hands to knock it down, or in his case, even catch it off the bounce.
One and two on Thomas. What was your warm-up song?
I changed it quite a bit. Never had one consistent song, but mixed and matched all over the map. No country though.
A lot of Backstreet Boys.
A lot of Backstreet, a lot of Timberlake. I think my favorite one I ever had was Lincoln Park Encore.
Velasquez takes off, pitches outside, throw down, not in time. And Velasquez is back to the big leagues with a bunt single and now a steal.
Good jump by Velasquez. And we get down to second base, and I love the full body check by Luis Ariz, the playful full body check. See right here, tag on the leg. Velasquez slides in well ahead of the throw. And he tags him there, head, shoulder, hand.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Base hit, scores a run now. Tied up Lane Thomas.
2-2. And Roop gets him with a changeup. That has been a very effective pitch for him today.
A good old-fashioned pitcher's duel between Landon Roop and Seth Lugo. Only 3 hits total by each team, or combined between the two teams, and it has been a lot of swing and miss. And a lot of throwing bats. Ramos was fooled on that breaking ball from Seth Lugo.
What's the exit velo on the bat?
Just up in the zone. You'll see a lot of hitters do that, and once they get beat by that pitch and try to kind of turn the wrist over, Sometimes it's just a lot easier to let the bat go. I talked about the pitcher's duel. Let's take a look at the comparison between them. 6 innings for each. The difference really was the walk and the hit by pitch by Seth Lugo. Giants were able to manufacture a run without the benefit of a hit. Roop has 7 strikeouts.
Now Roop is 2 strikeouts shy of tying his career best. And the Giants got the game's lone run in the 6th. Leadoff walk, then a hit batter, then a sac bunt, then a sac fly. So Lugo's pitched very well today, but Roop has been just that little bit much better.
And this has kind of been the streak that Lugo's going through. Just 1 win in his last 9 starts, despite a handful of quality starts mixed in those 9. He's trying to get back in the win column. And it's been since late May that he had his last win.
As it stands right now, it's a quality start, and it could be the Royals' 3rd quality start in a row. After Michael Wacha on Monday and Lewinter Avila yesterday, it's the first time the Royals have had back-to-back quality starts since the beginning of June, when Noah Cameron and Stephen Kolek had back-to-back quality starts. Lugo himself had a quality start on Friday, and so 3 quality starts in 5 games. Could be another one today. Avila was brilliant yesterday, best start of his career. Sweeper stays high, and no swing from Devers, and so that's Lugo's 2nd walk today. Now a message from UMB Private Wealth.
Is my retirement plan on track?
Are my investments aligned with my goals?
Is my plan built for the long run?
Schedule an appointment today.
Into the cloud cover and out of play. That's much cooler today than the last couple of days. Clouds have helped. There's a breeze in from right. Still is a cloudy glare today. Maybe you can tell from the Rally House Rally Cam. One of those days where you're wearing sunglasses and then you're not sure and you take them off and then you're squinting, so you put them back on. Kind of an in-between sunglasses kind of day.
Yeah, but I think the players appreciate that little cloud cover and the drop in temperatures. It was miserable here on Monday night. Nice little break from the heat.
One and 2 on Casey Schmidt.
Tony Vitello made a point talking with him. He said Arca players have not encountered anything even remotely close to what we encountered in the series opener. He said the heat was a big impact on their team. You understand why. They play the majority of their games on the West Coast, enjoy some of the most kind of mild temperatures you can find.
That is called strike 3, right at the top of the zone.
Well, that's a hat trick for Casey Schmidt. 3 strikeouts now on the day. Cutter up, middle in, freezes him solid.
5 Ks now for Lugo, and when the Royals get 10 or more strikeouts, get a free Frito-Lay snack the next day at Price Chopper.
Halfway home.
Strike 1 on Jung-Hoo Lee. He's Korean, though he was born in Japan when his dad was playing professionally in Japan. His dad, Jung Boom, is a KBO legend, 13-time All-Star, the 94 KBO MVP when he set a record with 84 stolen bases. And as a result, they nicknamed his dad Son of the Wind. And so what does that make Jung-Hoo? grandson of the wind.
I was going to say a tornado. I don't know. What does that make him?
I mean, as far as nicknames in baseball go, that's a pretty good one.
Was that his Japanese nickname or his Korean nickname?
I only know the English translation.
Nice.
The 1-2. And Lee rips it fair down the right field line. Devers heads for third. Gary Pettis puts the windmill on. Marte relays it in, but Devers crosses standing, and Jung-Hoo Lee, grandson of the wind, races to third with an RBI triple.
Well, Seth Lugo trying to beat him inside. And I would say if you're going to pitch to Jung-Hoo Lee, inside's a good spot to go, but right here he shows his quickness. Turns on this four-seam fastball up and in, rips it into the corner for an RBI triple. Jung-Hoo Lee is a nice serious swing in the bat.
Adames lifts one to the left field corner. It's out of Collins' reach. It one hops the wall, an automatic double. Lee scores, and the Royals are now down 3-0 in the 7th.
Willie Adames, his last 9 games, 10 RBI, make it 11. Gets a sweeper up in the zone. Showed tremendous power in his game-tying home run the other day, but this one middle in and rips it for a ground rule double.
And now the Royals start to get some action in their bullpen.
Seth Lugo was 1 strike away from the scoreless 7th inning, but back-to-back extra base hits. No challenges left for the Royals to challenge that borderline pitch.
One and one on Gilbert. It is Eli Morgan warming up in the bullpen.
Lugo was cruising along, now 20 pitches here in the 7th inning. Pitch count up to 93.
And for the second straight inning, it all started with a walk. Hit well to left center, but Thomas has room. He's got it. The inning is over. The Giants add a pair. The Royals are down 3-0. Time to stretch. Bottom of the 7th at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals trail the Giants 3-0. Jung-Hoo Lee had an RBI triple, and the Giants 2-run top of the 7th. And Landon Roop is through 6 shutout on 81 pitches. He has now thrown 15 consecutive scoreless innings, all since the All-Star break. Then he passed Quintana to lead off, and then Salvador Perez is on deck. Giants have Sam Hentges warming up in the bullpen. That's who Pasquantino faced when he tied the game with his base hit yesterday. Oh boy, has that changeup been good today for Root.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, curveball was advertised. We knew about the sinker, but the changeup, perhaps the most important pitch he's thrown this afternoon. He's thrown it to both lefties and righties.
Roop is attempting to complete at least 7 innings for a 3rd straight start. 8 innings, a 1-run ball against the Blue Jays in his last start before the break. And then 7 shutout against the Mariners in the Giants' first game after the break.
Look at him mechanically. I like how he has a little bit of the twist and turn. Turn that left leg back towards second base. Show the hitter his number. Creates a little bit more deception. Tougher to pick up. And he comes right at you. Trying to finish off Vinny with a changeup. For a good one the pitch previous. That one more up in the zone.
Then he's 0 for 2 today. He did enter with a 16-game on-base streak. Up the first base line, past Devers, and it's a hit into the corner. Vinny heads for second, and he's in ahead of the throw. He stumbles off the bag, but holds it. That was close. Adames wants another look. What say Tony Vitello and the Giants? Challenge. Oh, the ruling at second for Mike Estabrook is that Adames forced Pasquantino off the base. And Adames can't believe it.
Well, yeah, that would be surprising. First look, it didn't appear that Adames pushed him off the base, more just applying a tag.
So now a conference. You saw Vitello. He wants to challenge.
You want to challenge, but if the call is he was pushed off, then I'm not sure there is anything to challenge.
As it stands, it's a leadoff double for Vinny Pasquantino.
Kind of an awkward swing by, or sorry, an awkward slide by Vinny as he went into second base, trying to stay towards the inside of the bag because the throw was coming in from Jung-Hoo Lee from right field.
Mike Estabrook is the second base umpire. He made the call. Alfonso Marquez, the first base umpire, is the crew chief, and he's now explaining the situation to Tony Vitello, who is not pleased.
Well, in a second look at it here, you see Vinny. I'm not sure how
objectively, it's hard to say that Adames forced Pasquantino off the base.
I'm not even sure that he was off the base when the tag was applied either way. Geez, Vinny does a nice job trying to keep part of his equipment or body on that base, but I'm not convinced he was even off the bag, even had the tag not been deemed a push.
Well, the Royals might have caught a break here with this one. And Tony Vitello was just ejected from the game. He was actually getting after it with a third base umpire, Lance Barrett, moments ago. Well, it all amounts to a leadoff double, and here's Salvador Perez. Strike one on the curve.
I think if you're Tony Vitello, your biggest objection was the fact that he didn't call it right away. Most times an umpire, if he sees you push you off the bag, they'll use that motion.
Salvi hits it high in the air, deep right center field. That ball's gone! 317! Salvador Perez ties George Brett for the most home runs in franchise history.
Brett for the most home runs in Royals history with 317.
George Brett has held the franchise's home run record all by himself for 40 years. No longer alone at the top. El Capitan is at the list with him. 317 home runs and a well-deserved curtain call.
First pitch swinging. Fastball, middle. Now each of Salvi's last 3 home runs to center field or the opposite side. And boy, when he's going good, it is a work of beauty. You see the family celebrating. Gabby ecstatic about that moment.
And he knew it. His 3rd home run of this homestand, all of them 2-run shots. And a smile that has shone so brightly since he debuted in 2011. Well, it's as bright as it's been.
The most home runs in Royals history with 317.
One more to go to hold the record all by himself.
The accomplishment, the last couple of days thinking about it, to accomplish that record. Something that no other Royal besides George Brett has accomplished. 317 home runs. It's incredible.
Both now with 317 home runs. Of course, Salvador Perez already had the record for the most home runs at Kauffman Stadium. He's extended that, his 141st here at the K.
I have no doubt that if George Brett was going to share a Royals record with someone, and it'll probably be short-lived, don't get me wrong, it would be with Salvador Perez, the captain.
Sam Hentges entered the game and throws wildly, and Massey gets all the way to second. Salvi's home run, in the midst of its history, also made it a 1-run game. And now the potential tying runs at second with nobody out.
Well, all heck is broken loose here. Leadoff double of Vinny Pasquantino. Manager ejected. Salvador Perez home run. Bunt single with an error. And Royals offense has woken up from a slumber.
Massey's credited with a bunt hit and then goes to second on the error. So Salvi ended Landon Roop's afternoon, and it was really good until the last pitch he threw. And now it's Sam Hentges in a 1-run game. The Royals tied the game with Hentges on the mound yesterday.
Landon Roop was in full command of this game, given a 3-run lead going into the 7th inning, and 2 big swings have totally changed the complexion.
Schmidt gobbles it up on the grass at third, and there's the first out of the inning. He ties the record at home. And everybody here will remember exactly where they were, family included.
I would anticipate Salvi gets one more crack at it here in this game at Kauffman Stadium, but if he weren't to break it, wouldn't that be something? He'll go back to the scene of his first home run 15 years ago.
Well, baseball has a way of creating its own poetry. First career home run against Max Scherzer in Detroit back in 2011. That's where the Royals are headed after today's game. It is a 10-game road trip for the Royals coming up. 4 against the Tigers, 3 against the Twins, 3 against the Rockies.
With all the excitement and watching the celebration and the curtain call, I didn't look out in the right field to see who caught that ball and see if someone from the Royals might be able to track it down for Salvi.
That's through the right side, a base hit for Starling Marte. Massey gets held at third. Runners on the corners, 1 out.
Jung-Hoo Lee has already shown his arm once this inning. On the double in the corner by Vinny Pasquantino, gets a breaking ball up in the zone. Does such a nice job Marte does of directing stuff the other way. Michael Massey came around aggressively, but Vance Wilson got down the line. And Lortley said, no, we're going to hold up here. And it was a good throw by Jung-Hoo Lee, right on the money.
This is Josh Rojas' spot in the lineup, but Nick Lofton is ready to pinch hit. Meanwhile, Sam Hentges has faced the requisite 3 batters. And so Jace Tingler, the bench coach, Smithville, Missouri native, is coming out to make the pitching change.
What an accomplishment. 317 home runs. Most in Royals franchise history.
Incredible. The new pitcher for the Giants is Keaton Wynn. And Nick Lofton bats with runners on the corners, and the Royals down by a run. Well, Lofton had the go-ahead RBI single against Keaton Wynn yesterday. And Lofton sends it to the left center field gap. It is down. Massey's in to tie the game. Nick Lofton off the bench. Clutch again.
Is there a different Royal you would want up in these situations than Nick Lofton? Finds a way. Slider middle. Drives it to the left center field gap and cashes in another huge RBI for the Royals.
And Salvi loves it.
Well, as much as Salvador loves and enjoys home runs, he said, it doesn't matter if my team doesn't win. Right there, top step.
Velasquez bunts. Kavanaugh fields just foul. So Velasquez has come up now 3 times and attempted to bunt all 3 times. He had a bunt single back in the 3rd inning. He had an unsuccessful sacrifice in the 6th inning. Only 1 out here in the 7th. Game now tied at 3. 2-run homer from Salvador Perez. Game tying single from Nick Lofton. Popped up into foul ground. And Schmidt has room. Well, the way this inning's gone, Salvador Perez is guaranteed at least 1 more chance to set the record today at home. Mound visit here for Keaton Wynn. Justin Message, their pitching coach, comes out for a chat. Let's look at it again. History again.
All day long they'd pounded him inside. They'd located away with the off speed and the breaking balls and tried to sneak a fastball, and there you go. There's where the home run ended up, in the water. So
fittingly into the fountains. Well, as Ryan has so often said, those that enter will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
That was a calculated risk right there taken by that fan.
If you're going to test it, might as well be for a home run ball that ties the franchise record, I guess.
Just come out of the water saying, I did it for Salvi. I had to go get it from Salvi. They need to put that ball in the dehumidor instead of the humidor. They need to put it in the dehumidor.
.437-foot home run.
Each of his last 3 now traveling over 430 feet.
438 on Saturday, 440 on Monday, and now 437. And today, even more oppo than the other 2, which were more dead center to the batter's eye.
And you called it. He was due every other day. That's the cycle right now. So tune in on Friday to see 318 if it doesn't happen today. So he still has a chance, like you said. There's nothing in your law of physics that says he can't do 2 today. He just had to at least have 1.
What a special player and person for this franchise and this city. Marte takes off for third, uncontested. He's got the stolen base.
Don't take advantage of it. Get to third base. It just opens up the opportunity to score on a wild pitch. You saw Kavanaugh recognize the break by Marte was good enough, so he didn't even look at third base, but was checking behind the runner, Nick Lofton.
And the count's full on Carter. "17 career home runs for Carter Jensen. Only 300 to go." Lofton's in motion on 3-2, and Jensen takes the walk. And the Royals have batted around in the 7th inning. Lane Thomas is the 9th man to hit. 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. So he's due. Line through the right side, and the Royals have the lead. Marte's in. Lofton scores. Jensen to third. A 5-run 7th inning for the Royals. And Lane Thomas gives his team the lead on the very first pitch he sees.
Well, if you're Lane Thomas, 3 strikeouts, you're looking for a pitch middle in, first one, see if I can get a good swing off before he jumps ahead of me in the count. That's exactly what he's able to do. Sinker running in on the hands. Keeps his hands inside, throws the barrel at it. And it's a 5-piece for the Royals in the 7th inning.
An inning that began with Vinny Pasquantino's leadoff double. He bats for a 2nd time. He was falling off the second base bag after his slide. Willie Adames thought that he'd tag Pasquantino out. The ruling was that Adames had forced Pasquantino off the bag. So Vinny was safe. But Thomas takes off for second, and Kavanaugh's throw is not in time. That puts 2 in scoring position for Pasquantino.
Well, the offense this inning has been in motion. Lane Thomas, good break. Kavanaugh throws through.
Vinny at the plate. Salvi on deck. He's already made history in this inning. He's got a chance to make more history in the same inning.
My goodness. Give his family a heart attack. He does that.
Catcher is challenging the call of ball.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Calls overturned. San Francisco has 2 challenges remaining.
Overturned, 2-2. On the ground is second. Arise makes the diving stop. Throw from his knees gets Pasquantino to end the inning. The Royals take the lead with 5 runs, ignited by this historic swing from Salvador Perez. He's tied George Brett for the franchise most home runs, 317. Splash book request. The Royals had only 2 hits through the first 6 innings, then 5 runs on 6 hits in the 7th, including Salvi's historic franchise record tying home run. And now the Royals have a 2-run lead, and Daniel Lynch IV is on the mound to protect it. He's facing Daniel Susac to start the inning. Susac is pinch hitting for Drew Cavanaugh. Susac was the Giants' starting catcher on Monday. 2 for 3 with a double. And Lynch last pitched on Monday. A scoreless inning.
Yeah, 33 scoreless appearances this season for Daniel Lynch.
The only hit he allowed on Monday, however, was Susac's double. Quality start for Seth Lugo today. 7 innings of 3-run ball. He only allowed 3 hits. The walks came back to bite him. Only the 2 of them. And the hit batter as well. Dribble to third. Nick Lofton fresh into the game defensively. Makes a great play. And how about the splits?
What a play by Nick Lofton. My goodness. Comes off the bench. Big hit. Now a slow roller. Coming in. Off balance throw. Perfect throw. Vinny with the splits once again. Just a thing of beauty by this Royals defense.
Up and in on a rise. So Lofton now, in 3 straight games, has either a game-winning or game-tying RBI.
Well, he's got a knack for the dramatic. We talked earlier in the season, him and that crew that came off the bench, a lot of pinch hit opportunities, call themselves the late night knockers. He takes a lot of pride in being ready to come in these moments, and he has become one of the very best pinch hitters. This Royals have a ton of confidence in who he's become, and they've always known he has this talent. Clearly, that's why they drafted him in the first round. But
fought off to left, and there's the second out. So late night knockers, huh?
Yeah, that was his crew. All the guys coming off the bench, getting big hits.
Good view from our Rally House rally cam. I wonder if that's a Breaking Bad reference, a Heisenberg reference.
Could be.
He is the one who knocks. One and one on Eldridge. Up the middle, and Velasquez takes care of it. A 1-2-3 inning for Lynch. Salvador Perez leads off the bottom of the 8th, and he goes for franchise history. George Brett and Salvador Perez, each with 317 home runs as a Royal. Tied for the most in franchise history, and Salvi has a chance to take the record all for himself. Facing Eric Miller, fresh out of the Giants bullpen. Quickly 0-2. And Salvi's down swinging. And a warm ovation all the same. The gratitude for so many years and so many moments And his home run today in the 7th, just the latest, and certainly not the last. That's carved inside the third base bag. And Massey, who had a bunt single in the 7th, now has a double here in the 8th. So the Royals are headed on the road after today's game. Our next broadcast comes to you from Detroit and Comerica Park. 5:40 Central Time first pitch. The Royals are there over the weekend, Thursday to Sunday. Then it's off to the Twin Cities, Royals and Twins, for a 3-game set, and then Coors Field in Denver, Colorado.
3 series, 3 different time zones for the Royals.
And 3 places that are not all that difficult to get to from Kansas City. So if you want to come along
to come see history,
all I'm saying is bear witness. Now, Salvi had his first career homer in Detroit. He has incredible career numbers at Target Field in Minnesota. And, well, you know Coors Field's reputation. It's a 10-game road trip for the Royals before they're back at the K. Next home game is not until August 4th against the Twins. It was a 5-run flurry in the 7th to tie the game and take the lead. The Royals are trying to pad it here in the 8th. The Royals are 3 defensive outs away from completing a sweep.
It'll be their 3rd sweep of the year, and like you said, the first since early May in Seattle.
In fact, funny as it is, the only teams the Royals have swept this year are out of the American League West, the Mariners and the Angels.
Well, the Giants not in the American League West, but the National League West, so maybe it's something about the West Coast teams. 3 outs to get.
Two to Marte. And now the count's full 3-2. Alex Lang has pitched in back-to-back games. Right now the Royals have Steven Cruz warming up in the bullpen. Slow spinner, and Adames makes the play. We go to the 9th. The Royals are 3 outs away from a win. Marte in right field. So a defensive replacement with the Royals 3 outs away from a win. And Steven Cruz is on the mound, bidding for the first save of his major league career. No better way to start than with 99 for strike 1.
The way he's thrown lately, he has earned this opportunity. 5 straight scoreless outings. Just a 1.71 ERA over his last 19 games, 21 innings pitched. And we have seen the very best of Steven Cruz in the past couple of months.
Ramos loses the bat for a 2nd time today, and that is a strikeout with some oomph.
Yeah, that one he really got his hips into. That one carried halfway up the net. The last one was lower part of the net, so again, fooled on a breaking pitch, a nasty slider from Steven Cruz that stays on the inside part of the plate. Willie Ramos aborts the swing.
3 pitches, 3 strikes for Cruz. 4 pitches, 4 strikes for Cruz. Heater at 100 to Rafael Devers. Now Cruz does have 1 blown save in his career, though it was not in a traditional save opportunity. It was a game against the Red Sox back in May. He entered in the 7th inning. Now the Royals at the time had a 1-run lead, and Cruz was responsible for allowing the tying and go-ahead runs to score. So it's statistically a blown save. But he's 2 up, 2 down in his first traditional save opportunity. One out to get. 0-1 on Schmidt. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. That's deep to left and a home run for Casey Schmidt. And it is now a 1-run game.
Number 20 on the season for Schmidt ties Rafael Devers for the team lead in home runs, and it's a 4-seam fastball. Inside part of the play, not a bad pitch at all, but Casey Schmidt just pulls those hands inside, gets the barrel to the baseball.
That 3rd out has proven to be elusive on this homestand.
Seems to be the home run that these Giants continue to rely on for their runs, especially late in the game.
Popped up. Lofton calls for it. Royals win. Steven Cruz earns his first career save. The Royals sweep the Giants, and it's on a day that Royals fans will remember forever as the day that Salvador Perez tied the franchise record for home runs with 317. It is another 1-run win for the Royals. That's 3 in a row, all in this series against the Giants. A 4th 1-run win on this homestand. And what a homestand it was. The Royals win 5 of 6 back-to-back series wins, 2 out of 3 against the Padres, and now the Royals sweep the Giants.
And against the Giants, all 3 of the wins come back wins.